Hello everyone. Hello to friends who just signed in. So welcome to the Egypt Land of Initiation taught by Yantara Jiro this evening. Evening as in Singapore, Asia time. Maybe you're from Europe, it probably will be afternoon or morning to you. So thank you for coming online, joining us. Let's welcome Yantara to share this evening. Very exciting subject. Good evening, everyone. I'm Salea Betty. So welcome to this evening's talk, Egypt, the Land of Initiation by Yantara Jiro. I now welcome Yantara to share.
Hello, everybody. I hope that you can hear me well and see me too. So if you do, give a thumbs up, heart shape, say hi in the chat. Awesome. Wherever you are, thank you all so much for joining in to this wonderful gathering and connection. Very blessed to be here with all of you and excited to share about Egypt, the land of initiations. I've given this talk already in Japan with interpretation, translator, and now in English. And soon I will also give one in Mandarin on a separate day. So yeah, lots to share with all of you. I'll be, talking about some of my experiences and also sharing some slides, some past journeys in Egypt itself. And we'll also be taking any questions or sharings. If you have, please feel free to put into the box and we will try to answer them as much as possible. So wherever you are, welcome, welcome. Egypt, the land of initiations. Why it's called that, actually? Why is it called the land of initiations? I think it's important to for anyone who feels in their heart some kind of connection, some kind of calling to Egypt, probably would wonder why, there is a form of going back home, perhaps, kind of feeling. Or when you are there, you feel particularly drawn to maybe some masters or some goddesses or gods of the Egyptian beings, star beings. Perhaps you're thinking like, maybe you're from the stars, you're a star seed, and certain abilities, certain remembrance, memories come back to you even before you go to Egypt itself, or maybe you're drawn to a healing modality that is related to Egypt. So yeah, that is something that you might want to think about, tuning in deeper as to why you personally, individually resonate with that energy. But the land of initiation actually refers to beings, individuals who go there and get activated. The reason why it's so activating is due to the alignment of the pyramids. Even though around the world there are thousands and thousands of pyramids, but there are very few of them that has such a profound impact on the light bodies. We call it the light packets of information, the sounds, the frequencies coming from the stars. Not so many have been very active and very impactful to everybody. So since, say, maybe 10, I'm not exactly sure, like maybe 10 over years ago, like in Bosnia, I've lead like some journeys to Bosnian too, the Bosnian Sun Pyramid. It's also like an awakening of the energy of the pyramids, and we're receiving codings to upgrade ourselves. As time passes in tonight's sharing, I will, try to link the connection with all of you to see why it makes sense to go to these places. And of course, some of you may have even been there in this lifetime more than once, and you're still drawn to it. So let's begin sharing my slide. So this was taken in front of the Great Pyramid. I believe it was in 2018. And as you can see, the top of the apex of the pyramid itself is flat. If you can see my cursor moving on the screen, it used to have the apex there. So in 2004, I connected with my guide, Hermes, or in Egyptian goddess, they call Thoth. It's related to Mercury, the planet of Mercury. In Tibetan culture, it's known as Guru Rinpoche. It's even connected to Buddha Shakyamuni. So they're all similar, I would say, frequency, the same vibrational bandwidth of light, just appearing in different forms, in different eras, different timelines, but they're all the same. And Thoth or Hermes has shared to the world the principles of the universe, the seven hermetic principles, and one of which the principles gave birth to the laws, which is the law of attraction, the law of neutrality, the law of oneness, and so on and so forth. So my connection with Hermes goes back a very long time, but in this lifetime, I connected with him in 2004 very profoundly. It was physically intensive, and ever since then, Hermes has been teaching and sharing about the pyramids. So 4 years later, in 3 years later, 2007, Hermes came through and said to bring a group to Egypt in 2008. So when I arranged that to travel to Egypt, it was filled up within 2 months. Actually, it was really, really fast. It wasn't a very big group. I think there was just 20 odd people, but it was my first time to lead a journey, a sacred tour out of Singapore or anywhere else. So arranging that and going onto the web and connecting with the right bridge, the right agency that could arrange everything, it was magical because it was so effortless. It was very smooth. Etiquettes and everything. Experience was fabulous. So since 2008, I've been leading sacred journeys to Egypt for four times already. And this year I'll be leading two more times. One is for the Mandarin Chinese speaking participants, and the other group is for the Japanese speaking and English speaking participants. So Thoth has taught me the power of the pyramids and how we can, through intention and visualization, activate this pyramid energy so that we can expand and fine-tune or focus our mind and raise our consciousness through this geometric design. It is not just about helping us to understand the secrets of the universe or the harmonic relationships of that. That is just help us to reframe our perspectives about our relationship with the earth, with living beings, with all living things, with cosmos, the universe, and so on and so forth. It's just to help us use something that we can recognize as patterns from the smallest to the largest, from the microcosm to the macrocosm. But on a deeper personal, internal perspective and manner of approach, it's about using these tools, these sacred tools, such as the pyramid, to reconfigure our energy field and to provide pathways, energy pathways, to open up energy circuits in our body so that we do not have the restrictions of the blockages that it has been caused by ourselves over lifetimes and lifetimes. Once we open those pathways up, we're able to, our consciousness is able to rise and to go through the various layers of perceptions. And that will help us to break free beyond this third dimensional reality, so to speak, and give us a very experiential understanding of our relationship with the universe, of course. Initially, it is through patterns and shapes and drawings and visiting to places, contemplation, meditation, reading books, learning about healing, working with crystals, sound. And then we're trying to see how everything comes together. But eventually, after learning all these various aspects of what the universe represents and their relationship, we begin to see that they all point to a singularity, which is using these tools to raise our consciousness. So Hermes, Thoth, Mercury, Guru Rinpoche, or Shakyamuni Buddha, all the masters and beings, they teach us the same thing, which is how we can transcend beyond our own struggles and limitations so that we stop creating what we don't want and see the universe, see all things in this true nature. So that being said, a very powerful connection with Hermes, and I believe that Hermes, Thoth, the same being, will come through and guide us during the journey itself that we'll be traveling to. It will take place from end of November and all the way to mid-December. So during that period, we'll work with the 1212 Stargate. And sometimes Hermes comes through and we will have the mini gatherings and workshops where he will teach things about what we need depending on the group. So the Milky Way and the Nile River is a very close relationship since a very long time ago, depending on the position of the Earth in the cosmos, in the Milky Way. The Nile River once had lined up with the Milky Way galaxy. So we can see that the three pyramids, the Giza Pyramid Complex, is not only part of that alignment, but also perfectly connects with the Orion Belt, which then links an extension to Star Sirius. And Star Sirius, Series A, B, and also C, has a very deep relationship with our DNA. And that codings and information has been transmitting through Sirius, which we know spiritually as the Great Central Sun. And that energy goes through the Pleiades constellation of 1,000 stars, of which 7 brightest, and of which the brightest is the central sun. So from the Great Central Sun, Sirius, flowing into the central sun of Pleiades, and then connects to our solar system of our solar sun. Then it connects to us through the sun within our heart center, and also the inner earth sun, the sun at the center of the earth. So we have very, very strong connection with the sun. And that star, the sun as a star, contains very powerful information that we can tap into to remind ourselves and reawaken that aspects of us, from separation into unification, and then through ascension beyond that. So we can see here, like the Nuit goddess is recognized by the Egyptians, in the ancient Egyptians, as part of the celestial goddess, the celestial mother, connecting all the ancestors and consciousness, our lineage of where we come from. So there's a very deep emotional connection with that. We can see many of these paintings and carvings in so many temples wherever we visit in Egypt along the Nile. And we have time to admire and appreciate the art and the beauty. And some of you may even dream of traveling in space, in the cosmos, and connecting with the stars, even prior to traveling there. So the Nile River is very important because the temples are mostly all situated along the Nile River. Of course, the water plays the vital part of why the temples are powerful. We may see these temples as ruins now, but in the past, the temples were made to exude some kind of frequency. Even the pillars itself represents the tempo, the rhythm of music. Say, for example, there are 4 pillars on the left and 4 pillars on the right. We have a 4/4 count, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the dimensions and heights and lengths of the corridors, their measurement could come out to the number of frequency, which then could translate into a note, say G sharp or G, D, D sharp, and so on and so forth. So as we're traveling along the Nile, we're actually working with the chakras of our body, but also we are tuning our body by just being in that environment. The structure of the temple will have the capacity and ability to tune us. Do not underestimate the ruins. As just looking at the past, it's all broken down and all. The etheric existence of the temples exists there in a different dimension. So if we just visit these sacred places as a tourist, we will definitely not get anything. Some people who are more prepared in some sense, they may get switched on automatically without them doing anything. But most of the people who go on such a journey without knowing, they won't get much because their mind is not focused and tuned in to that particular wavelength. So when we travel intentionally, that means we travel with intentions, we travel with awareness and wanting to connect, we are switching our mind from being a tourist to an explorer to an initiate, so to speak. We are traveling as a student of the universe. We are studying ourselves. We are studying the mysteries of life. We're exploring the connections between the temples. We are also tuning into the subtle frequency, linking dreams, linking messages, inspirations that comes through us while we're traveling day and night, up and down the Nile. So water serves as a vital element that activates the pyramids and activates the temples. We also get to visit the Isis temple, which is related to Ceres, as a private visit to connect with Syrians. And there'll also be a lot of exciting new curtains, which I hope to share soon. So you can see on the top right-hand corner here, we have Queen Hatshepsut. It's one of my favorite temple, because when we got up there and it was for the sunrise, when the sun hits, it is spectacular. You can just feel the rays piercing through gently into your third eye. And as your eyes are closed, you can see the orange glow, and the brilliance of that light splits into various colors and as nutrients being taken into our body, being absorbed into our body. Queen Hatshepsut represents beauty, creativity, and nevertheless, every time without fail, all our participants will be gone there, will start taking photos non-stop, selfies and all. So that is like a common scene whenever we get to this temple, Queen Hatshepsut. And this one over here with water underneath at the top, you can see this is the Isis Philae temple that we're visiting. And then Karnak or Efu will also be connecting with them, third eye, light bodies, and so on and so forth. And during the COVID period, Egypt wasn't just lying there and not doing anything. They were upgrading intensively the hotel rooms and also their cruises. So all the cruises that we will be taking on, they are all suites, en suites with balconies, amazing, beautiful, and I can't wait to experience that myself, because all these years that hasn't changed until they've done this complete refurnished. So that's a new template. It always has to happen on the vibrational level first before the physical can take place. So I believe that all these have been arranged for a special timing to take place. Yeah. Mystic dreams while in Egypt. I wanted to share with you this because it's not just myself, but many past participants who have signed up to go on sacred journeys with us shares that they have dreams, either before going on to the journey or while they are on the journey itself, especially in Egypt. So even if you're not on the cruise, you are on land. And I think it was one of the St. George Luxor Hotel. In that place, there were quite a few reports of very interesting dreams. But of course, it's not just the location itself, but also the period of when you are there, aligning with the constellations and the stars, and your personal codings within of when it's being switched on. Some of the dreams could be related to your past lives that you were doing in Egypt, ancient Egypt. Or it could be you communicating with certain beings, guardians, masters, gods and goddesses. They may giving you messages or certain symbols, certain kind of activations. Why it happens while you're in Egypt is because when we're there, our mind is, far away from home. We are much focused on in the present, and our body is tired from traveling here and there. So we are more receptive towards the messages that are coming from other dimensions and other realms. It's just always there. It's just we're not in that wavelength, that tuning of that channel to pick up the messages on a daily, regular basis. But when we're there, the land and the temples are in such close proximity, it can activate us like a tuner, like a string, and bring us to a very narrow wavelength, but yet more precise, so that we can tap into that energy. What would all this information be useful for us is that those who are especially seeking for answers in their life, there are people who are looking for a booster and upgrade in their healing arts, who wants to be a better spiritual service provider to the world, to all sentient beings, to support others in healing and transforming and awakening. All these codings are powerful and necessary because they can help us to accelerate the activations, the knowledge that we already have. And by doing so, we don't need to spend too much time trying to build up so that we can unlock the blockages and allow our consciousness to rise. But while we're there, we have this continuous collective currents of energy to help us open ourselves up. So this is very helpful. And dreams are aspects where when we are too conscious or too rigid to believe in, dreams help us to break that box, that linear mind, and help us tap into the potential creativity, the creative aspect, and the quantum aspect of us, and to connect beyond. If anything that is absolutely genuine, instead of your own imagination, in the dream itself, you will not forget that dream. You will definitely remember the connection. You will remember perhaps even the sensation, the taste, even the light, the messages. So those times are very valuable. Those information are encrypted inside in your psyche, and that it can have an influence in you. Perhaps it could be a form of attunement. We call it attunement, where you received an empowerment from a higher being, a higher consciousness from a different world, and that gives you access and ability to connect to a different world so that you can retrieve energy or connect with a frequency that is not usually available here. I'm not sure if you understand what I'm saying. It's like sometimes why certain people are better with energy healing comparing with others. Of course, there are many factors, but one of it is that they can access this frequency that is not readily available. And let's just assume that we give a name to this frequency, and this frequency number A is for healing wounds. So if we can tap into that frequency for healing wounds and bring it here, then we can accelerate the healing itself. Or maybe this frequency is about opening up our mind to greater heights of understanding geometries. So suddenly we able to perceive and see relationship connections. You might be wondering, like, okay, it sounds like someone who has had an accident, had a bump on the head, and they wake up speaking a different language, or they might start playing piano prior to that accident. They don't know anything about music. So this is through impact and trauma. But when we are going on a journey like that, we don't have to experience trauma in order to open ourselves up to greater possibilities. We can do it through other means. And that often is through meditation. And meditation is therefore a very vital component for the journey. While we are there, we need to be in a coherent state to open ourselves up to receive and to even gift also. So we're not just there to receive, but also going to share our codings and our light so that many more others who come there can have that exchange. So you can think of it like a trading, like a trading market, a trading pot where there to exchange codings. Is really fun. So dreams in Egypt, I've connected with like Isis while I'm there. I'm also have connected with Sekhmet, and also some other one particular very interesting experience. I will share that with you later at the end, so stay tuned for that. One place that we'll also be visiting is the Temple of Osiris, which is next to the Temple of Seti. So we'll be visiting this place, and for a very long time, if you can see that picture of this temple right below, it was flooded. So the water was covered. We're unable to get down there. But this time we were able to have a private visit for our group. And we'll get to see in person live this laser carving of flower of life on the wall, on the granite wall. So this is very rare. Why is it so? Because how is it possible for thousands of years ago that they have laser technology in order to able to carve the flower of life so precisely onto the granite wall? So this is not done in a modern day. This was done thousands of years ago. I don't know exactly how long, but definitely at least thousands of years ago. So while we're there, working with this, Thoth has shared that we'll be working with our light bodies there. So we'll be doing some form of soul journey and activations, transmission work while we are working with the flower of life there. So you can see on top right-hand corner, you can see a three-dimensional geometry. It is the three-dimensional version of the flower of life, 64 tetrahedrons. And the left-hand side with the black lines, the flat 2D design of flower of life, that's a feminine representation of this flower of life. On the right-hand side is the masculine representation. So they are both exactly the same thing. They're just presented differently. One is the feminine on the left and one's the masculine on the right. If we shine light onto the sacred geometry of, say, C64 tetrahedron, and we spin this geometry fast enough, then we'll be able to see these two-dimensional feminine flower of life appear on top of the three-dimensional flower of life, which is a very interesting phenomena. So they're both existing within each other. It's just how we see it. Yeah. So I hope that inspires you, and remember that to take a look at it up close when we are there. The Sphinx is the day we visit on the 12th of December. This was taken in 2012 from one of our group. And the Sphinx connects to the Amenti, the halls of Amenti. But in my experience of connecting to halls of Amenti right beneath the Sphinx, is about raising consciousness layer by layer, traveling upwards. It's not so much about going there to retrieve knowledge and information. We have already all this knowledge and information within us, but it is the design of the geometries underneath that serves as a power, how to call it, like a power tool, like a power generator, where different voltage or frequencies step up one after another, beaming upwards. So when we're there, we meditate and connect as a gateway before we visit the Great Pyramid for another private visit to the King's Chamber, which I'll share later. The Egyptian Museum will also be visiting the Egyptian Museum. And this was taken in 2012 too. We had the privilege of visiting the museum for just our group itself. And this year, 2024, I hope that the new museum will be ready for us. I'm not sure whether they will be opening in parts, but yeah, I'm intending for us all to have a new experience. I heard it's very big and it will take quite some time to finish. So I'll get updates and share with you guys. Within the museum, it's not just about looking at mummies, but rather there are some artifacts, especially check out the apex of the Black Pyramid apex that emits a very interesting electromagnetic field. So up to today, it's still doing that. So if you feel drawn when you're walking past on something, just pause for a moment, tune in to yourself, get into coherence, and check in to see what it is for you. You might be surprised. Let's get to the King's Pyramid over here, and then we can understand a little bit more. So you can see on the bottom right, we have the entrance. So we will be climbing up through the steps into the entrance. And then as we go up to the ascending passageway, we'll come out to the Grand Gallery. So this area is connecting around the heart center, which is about the F note, F sharp around there, the length and dimension of that. So when we're just there, it is opening ourselves up. If we look at the design of the pyramid, and Hermes have taught this, which the King's Chamber represents the highest frequency, which is a plus polarity. So if we use polarity plus and minus to understand duality, let's just put it this way, plus and minus represents reality. Then we have the Queen's Chamber representing plus minus polarity. And then we have underneath the underground chamber that is a minus polarity. So minus minus, then we have plus minus, then we have the plus plus, which is the King's Chamber. So the King's Chamber is not the correct word. It's called the Temple of Transfiguration, because in that King's Chamber, so to speak, it is about transforming and lifting the initiates consciousness into a new height. And in the past, only ready initiates could enter here to meditate and to receive this activation. So they had to go through all the temples, studying for years and years, training in sound, training in medicine, training in chanting, visualization, in geometry, and all that, colors, so on and so forth, moving towards Cairo, towards the Great Pyramid, eventually to get the final activation and initiation. So we are also doing something similar, traveling towards different temples, receiving activation works, meditations, workshops, and all. And then eventually we will end on the 12/12 on the Stargate to receive this energy work. 2 hours will be in there. So the air shaft also points to the constellations in the sky, but we'll be mainly focusing on connecting with ourselves, connecting with the Stargate within us, and we'll also be working with sound. So we'll be spending quite a bit of time toning and chanting. I'll give a bit more information as we continue on. The Great Pyramid, all pyramids or true pyramids are always aligned true north. So they all point towards the same direction, the north side, north face, and they must have water running underneath. In the past, the Great Pyramid used to have water running underneath. Nowadays, it's mostly all dried up, but we'll be using our body, which has water, to activate it. So with the right intention and with the right focus and attention and sound, we can gather and we can shape the electromagnetic field towards the pyramid and focus it for working on us. Yeah, I explained a little bit further that later on. Another place that we had visited before in our past group was to Karnak Temple, and there we had the Sekhmet Chapel, which is absolutely fascinating. You can see right in front of you is a goddess Sekhmet. Even though this time we won't be connecting with her in person because the chapel is closed up and it's very, very challenging. It's a very small space for a group to go in. But we will be connecting with her and she will be coming through to work on us, to speak to us during a workshop. I believe that will take place in the Red Sea when we are at the Red Sea. We'll have workshop there at the resort to work with her. So we will visit Karnak Temple for sure, and there are a lot of new discoveries we can see all the various things here leading up, and it connects from temple to temple, not just the front of Karnak Temple only. So coming to the Great Pyramid again, we can see here that international research groups applied methods of theoretical physics to investigate electromagnetic response of the Great Pyramid to radio waves. Under the right resonance conditions, the pyramid can concentrate electromagnetic energy in its internal chambers and under the base. So you can see this triangle here is a side profile, and you can see the intensity of it moving. So the right resonance conditions. For many years of me leading sacred journeys to Egypt, to Boston pyramids, we usually use a lot of sound. And mainly we have to practice during our journey. We have time to gather in groups and we will do rehearsal, because before going to the Great Pyramid, there's a lot of preparation to do, meditations and rehearsals on how to get in and what to do in there, what kind of sound to make, so that when we collectively produce a sound, it will create the harmonics that will vibrate the whole chamber. Let me bring up that to see if yeah. So this is the Temple of Transfiguration, also known to the general public as King's Chamber, but to the esoteric studies, we call it the Temple of Transfiguration. You can see right here, the stone sarcophagus is not a coffin. It's actually a tuning fork where initiates used to lie inside this tuning fork. And when they tone, the whole chamber will vibrate because it contains crystals. The walls and the floors, they all contain crystals. They still do, and they vibrate. And your whole spine will a very interesting experience. I mean, depends on each person, it might be different, but certain people might see light, certain people might connect with certain beings and they start giving their messages. Certain people's health gets better after they leave the pyramid, their pain is gone, that the chronic pain has disappeared. So we will be spending time in here to do toning, singing, and we will create the resonance to lift our consciousness. So prior to coming to here, we'll be preparing ourselves, clearing, healing, opening up the blockages. We're having mini workshops and also listening to activation recordings, which I'll prepare ahead of time, which you will be receiving 1 month before the journey to Egypt begins. So this was taken also during one of our group visit there. It's really powerful and fascinating. So on the 12/12, we'll see what codings will come, but I'm sure you will receive the gifts that you're meant to receive. So in here with the right resonance, the sound will vibrate the whole chamber, and the echoing and the golden ratio, the geometry, dimension, and proportion of this space creates a perfect resonance. But we need to make the appropriate sound. Otherwise, it's just noise. So we got to make the proper sound through our vocal cords together. So that's why we need rehearsals and all to sing to create that resonance. Yeah. So this was one of the mandalas that I've done after connecting with the tuning fork here, and with the codings that I downloaded, I input into to the interior side of it. So even though you may not be able to be in there lying inside all the time, you can actually see yourself going in and meditate and using certain sounds, codes or mandala to activate it and to reconnect back with that frequency. So during the sacred journey, there will be a manual which will provide, and in there will be certain mandalas that we'll be using during our meditations and workshops, and is yours to keep to meditate along and to support you in your personal spiritual transformation. Yeah. So this is an exciting story that I've been waiting to tell you. It's very interesting to me because it's only happened once. On one of the 4 visits to Egypt, I've been to White Desert, I think maybe twice, maybe 3 times, I'm not sure, maybe minimum twice. But on one specific visit, we were sitting on a 4-wheel drive like this. And it's very rare that I get really, really tired on such a trip, because I'll probably already be integrating every day during the journey. But this desert visit is after the main journey, after the main tour. So while traveling in the Jeep, let me bring this down so I can. While traveling in the 4-wheel drive and moving through the desert itself, I felt tremendously sleepy, and I can't resist just closing my eyes and lying down. So most of the time, traveling towards where our camp will be, because we had reserved very beautiful tents, large space, double bed, hot showers, dresser tables, and all is like a full-fledged beautiful tents out in the desert. I was knocked out. I was knocked out in the car. And by the time it arrived, I was like, okay, I need to excuse myself. So I went to my tent and I landed bed and I was gone. While I was gone, I dreamt that I was in the ocean. And the sensation experience was very profound because it felt very tangible. In that oceanic world, there were beautiful creatures. They were small and they were huge ones too. Creatures I've never seen in this era before. And as time passes, I spent a long time there, traveling in the water, almost living there. And it felt years have gone by. And it literally felt in my mind, in my heart, that I've lived there. And then at some point, it felt like my consciousness is withdrawing from this space, this world. And next moment, I realized that I woke up and I was like perspiring. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was gone for 7 years. And that was the first thought that came into my mind. I was gone for 7 years. And I was very concerned whether I was away for 7 years, disappeared from the world, from this earth. And then I look at my time. I was away for 7 hours in this earth time. But in my dream, I woke up feeling that I was gone for 7 years. And when I look at my watch, it was 7 hours. So that has happened only just once. And I will never forget that experience, because till today, I still remember the vision, the ocean, the creatures, and what happened there. So that was totally fascinating. I came to understand that the mountains today used to be underwater, and desert used to be ocean. So the world changes, obviously, the landscape changes, and sometimes we were there to witness it, perhaps in one of our past lives, and other times we're just through the passage of time living here, experiencing what is. but knowing that we can connect to different timelines and we hold memories of the places we've been before, it is very precious, because when we reactivate that connection, it again helps us to understand why we're here and what we may have done in the past, perhaps what we could learn from what we have done, and not repeat some of our mistakes, and perhaps contribute something better to this generation of to the world in this life. So that's my story of what in the White Desert have experienced. We've been to also the Black Desert. The Black Desert is very integrating. This time we won't be visiting desert, if you're wondering. It's not at this moment necessary for us to go, so I didn't arrange that. It will be way too long also for the trip. It's quite couple of hours drive that we have to take from Cairo to go out to the desert itself. But I feel like this year 2024 is a very, very good time to reconnect back, because there's a lot of acceleration. At the beginning, I think at the end of last year and the beginning of this year, I mentioned, for those who have came to my events before, that 2024 will pass really fast. Like wind, it will pass really fast. And with the energy of the dragon, it will activate us and lead us to step forward, more and more into our own powers. So we may be pushed to overcome some of our own limitations, concerns, worries, judgments, and all. Of course, we've always been working on that, but there are situations and opportunities that requires us to step forward, to be in a certain role more than in the past. And it requires us to take action to transform ourselves in order to fulfill that role. So in the past, maybe it doesn't have that opportunity for the role, but it's still asking you to work on yourself. Like, oh, I have time, because I can take time to change, and even I've changed now, there's nothing for me to step into to utilize the new version of who I am. But right now there are more and more opportunities or situations, circumstances have pushed you to ask you to step into certain role, and you require certain skills, new skills that you don't have right now. And in order to acquire those skills, you need to overcome some of the emotional hurdles or emotional blockages or even mental constructed beliefs in order to achieve a better version of who you are. So going on sacred journeys, do not travel there as a tourist. If you have interest and your heart feels resonating to certain places, always go intentionally and be open. Take time to tune in, to get into a state of coherence, to receive information and to receive messages. You can even ask for blessing if you don't know what to receive. You can ask, please bless me to help me and support me in my path so that I can step into my role, into my highest potential. You can create your own verses of prayer, words that means to you, that will help you to open yourself up. That is very powerful and very important. During the Egypt journey this year, late November to mid December, it's my first time actually that I'll be preparing recordings. In the past, it's not recordings. It's just mandalas and tags and what preparation you need to do prior to going, and then while we're there, the manual itself, you can use the manual to help you navigate, because there are two aspects of journeys when we go on a sacred trip. And one aspect is the outer journey. The outer journey tells us every day where we're going, what we're going to do there, whether we're going to have our meals or lunch and all that kind of stuff, where we're staying. So that is our outer journey, what we're seeing, what we're experiencing. And then we have another journey happening concurrently at the same time, which is our inner journey. And that inner journey is specific to each individual. Even though each day there is a theme, And I've provided those keywords to kind of help navigate us while we're there. Every day there's an energy theme. There's certain keywords that we're being reminded. But personally, individually, you have your own position and your own current state where you are still working on and aligning to each time. Some people may need more integration time, others may not need as much, others may integrate later towards the end of the trip. Some people might start to integrate quite early. What I mean by integrating means resting, not feeling wanting to connect, not feeling wanting to talk too much, perhaps needing a bit more food, feeling a bit weak, or just like having so much information in you, you don't know how to organize it and you kind of just want to be quiet. So that usually signifies a need for integration. We will try as much as possible on a daily basis to integrate so that you don't have to do it all at once at the end of the trip. Because some people after a big trip, they kind of lie flat for like 2 weeks and just like do nothing. But we don't have to wait till then, unless there's certain reasons why your body chooses to do so. But regardless, yeah, we'll do some preparation for that. We'll also be visiting we'll be visiting quite a few temples: Karnak Temple, Ra, the Isis temple. We'll be doing the Fulika ride. We'll be visiting the Sphinx, Temple of Osiris, going to the Red Sea. We'll also be let me see what else, where else we're going. Many places we'll be visiting. Let me pull it up. We'll also be going to Abu Simbel, and that's working on the DNA, working on a heart clearing and DNA. Sirius will be on the inner sun, working on Sirius activation. So what this means when I put in my itinerary is that there will either be workshops, activations related to that place. We can do certain gatherings while we're there on site, or there will be recordings for you to listen while you're there as a group. I mean, you can have your free time, of course, to connect wherever you feel drawn to, but the sounds recorded, you can listen to it and bring it along with you during the trip. Is to help you to tune into that frequency and then get the downloads. Of course, you can listen to it multiple times if you like, but those are made convenient for it. So we'll be tuning in ahead of time, connecting with them. Usually when I do recordings, it takes quite a bit of time because I got to wait and get into a state, raise my consciousness to a particular level before I connect to the temple and see what comes through. Then it has to translate appropriately into certain sounds and certain patterns to be added on to the track. Sometimes there may be more than one layering. So there's quite many sounds activations in there. If you listen to some of my recordings on YouTube, you probably will get a sense of what you'll be expecting to come, like the Arcturus Crystal Temple or the Celestial Blessings, the Arcturus activations, or the Quantum Heart activations on the YouTube channel. Those recordings will be in those kind of presentation. Yeah, you'll probably be receiving them in that way. We'll take some time at Kempinski resort at the Red Sea because it'll be quite dry by then. So I think the body needs some kind of nurturing. So we'll be doing workshops there with Sekhmet, a goddess Sekhmet, for healing work. Sekhmet represents courage, the lion's heart, opening up, facing and moving forward. So yeah, it's supporting us in those codings. Then we'll visit Saqqara, Saqqara complex with the various step pyramids. And lastly, on the 12/12, we'll be connecting with the Sphinx and the Great Pyramid for the activations. So those are some of the little things that we're just sharing with that I feel to share with you, because I think many people don't know why they're drawn to go to a certain place. Perhaps even after they've gone, they still don't know why they're there. I feel like it's nice to know if there is a reason, if there is a message, and also it is valuable if one can clearly utilize the gifts that they received practically in their life, because otherwise we receive all these energies and activations, and what should we do with them if it's just going to stay in us for the rest of our lives? If it can help us enhance our life, help make us more healthy, um, make us improve our relationship, help us to understand perspectives, clear our blockages, heal us, then I think is invaluable. But ultimately, in my opinion, once we transcend the human level of our challenges, we'll start to get attracted more on the spiritual aspect. We want to know who we are, where we come from, where we're going next. How can I raise my consciousness to transcend beyond where I am? Because this limited way of living, thinking, and feeling feels sometimes make people feel like they can't breathe, makes them feel people that they can't overcome a challenge. They are a victim of surprises, a victim of unexpected things that happens. Of course, there's certain things we respect and let it be, but there are many areas in our lives which we can be co-creating, that we can participate actively to decide what we want to experience. Everything that we're experiencing, whether it's a surprise or not, has been in the flow of time. And that content, that appearance or manifestation of an event has come from it, perhaps our past, through our intentions and desires, but it hasn't been manifested yet. It has taken a long time, perhaps even lifetimes, for it to eventually sprout and bear fruits, so to speak, manifest into our reality. So certain things might have happened and we don't remember why, because maybe when we were 2 years old, we had a thought and a desire for something, and now it's manifested. Or it could be a past life, it could be a very big project that you have been thinking of. But time, in a sense that it is relative, it changes as our vibration shifts. So certain things could be accelerated, certain things could also be delayed, prolonged, procrastinate, so to speak. But it will just build up bigger and bigger until at a time it explodes. Yeah. So so much, activations and transformation work is being done, and I think that we need to not just activate them, but we need to actualize them into our lives. So sound is one way to actualize. That means we tone, we sing, we listen to music, we meditate, and that help us to get into a particular waveline. And then at a sweet spot, it switches on, and then we get aha moments. So if we can get many aha moments, then you'll find that your life will start to move and start to change faster and faster. Otherwise, it's kind of get stuck. Yeah. If you feel like your life is stagnant and things are not moving in the pace and speed that you want, it means that your vibration in your body, somewhere it is not flowing well. It is a bit stagnant. So you either move your body, exercise, move your body more actively to increase circulation, or you can use visualization to move energy in your body. That can also help. You can do tapping, you can sing, you can dance, you can tone, you can do mantras, you can receive energy healing and all, but you need consistency and repetition in order to see result. If you're just doing it once, twice, 3 times, it is not sufficient. So you need repetition again and again and again and again. Then for sure, you will see result. So it goes the same to practices. So whatever new things that you're going to learn, new modalities perhaps you'll learn during the trip, or messages or empowerment you're going to receive when you visit these temples itself, you need to repeat it in order for you to see the results. Certain things that we receive could be quite impactful to the extent that it manifests straight in your face. Pop, it's done. You don't have to to nurture it because it's come to the peak of actualization, while others need time for nurturing and watering and taking care, removing the weeds, the negative thoughts, removing the negative thoughts, negative actions, negative speech, and then adding on and practicing positive speech, positive actions, positive thoughts in order to nurture your plant for it to grow and bear fruits. So yeah, having this understanding, I hope that you will have a new perspective towards how to approach when you are going on sacred journeys itself. And Egypt is not the only place, of course, in the world. There are so many amazing, powerful vortexes that are always calling us to go. But it's important that you tune into your heart to feel what resonates with you, because if it resonates with you, that means that when you're there, the switching on, the activation is a lot more impactful. Otherwise, it's kind of just going there and just tuning in for that. We want to do also a meditation to connect with the energies of the gods and goddesses of Egypt. So if you would like to join us, then after this, we'll have Saleha share some of her experiences, which is really exciting because she has been on a trip with me a couple of times. So I'm gonna start some music for you, and then if you could close your eyes and place your palms facing up. You don't have to look at me. As long as you can hear me, that's good enough. Okay. So if you could close your eyes, bring your attention to your breath. Breathe in through your nose and take long exhalation through your mouth. Feel yourself embracing the entire space into your inner being. As you exhale, relax your shoulders and feel the abdomen and your palms become warmer and warmer. Feel the liquid light from source flowing down from the universe all the way into your crown chakra. Feel it flow to the center of your brain, down your face, and like water sipping into your throat. Feel it flow to your chest, where it activates the central sun of the heart. Imagine a beautiful sun at the center of your chest. Breathe in. Breathe out. Feel this light continues to flow down to your solar plexus, to your spleen, to your navel, and through there, forming this liquid light reservoir where it overflows like a fountain into your sacral and to the base of your spine, to the left and right of your hips, down your thighs, knees, calves, and ankles. You can imagine looking down at your own feet and feeling this liquid light flow through your feet like roots of a tree, spreading wider and deeper, all the way into the center of the earth, to the inner earth sun. Feel your heart, feel the rhythm of your heart pulsing with the inner earth sun. Feel your breath aligning as one with the inner earth sun. Through the power of the inner sun, power of fire, liquid fire, generates a great flow of circulation around the earth, creating rain, the ocean, and the circulation of life force. As you breathe in, this energy from the inner earth sun rises up high and higher, like the roots of a tree, taking in the nutrients into your legs, into your bones, into your muscles, your tissues, to your cells, your DNA, up the base of your spine, flowing through your navel, solar plexus, to the center of your chest, the central sun of the heart. Feel it flow up your thymus, your throat, up your face, to the center of your brain, and out through your crown. And above that, aligning yourself to your soul star, to the solar gateway, to the galactic gateway, and the universal gateway, to the entire universe, to source and beyond. Feel yourself as though your consciousness begins to spread out and merges with the entire universe. Beyond your physical self, your pure energy, and beyond pure energy, which is purely consciousness. To the presence of all our galactic star family, the Arcturians, the Palladians, the Sirians, the Andromedans, the Lyrians, the angels, the archangels, and the cosmic angels. We invite the saints, the gurus, the masters, and gods and goddesses. We invite the guardians of the 4 great directions and the 10 directions. We pray that we're surrounded by golden light. Let us visualize a golden pyramid. Visualize a golden pyramid. See this golden pyramid in a form like a hat, as though you're wearing it on your head. The square base of this golden pyramid sits just at the right level where your third eye is. And the apex of the golden pyramid is right above your crown, covering your soul star chakra. Do not worry if you're not familiar with any of these terms. Simply intend. Gently bring your attention right to the center of your brain. Right to the center of your brain. You can do so easily by feeling the air entering through your nose and leading you right into the center of your brain. Through the cosmic journey of time that you have experienced different lifetimes and different star systems. You have gathered many ancient lifetimes of knowledge and experience. At the various different lifetimes, sometimes you may go a bit higher, sometimes you may come down a bit lower. This is a natural cycle. In this lifetime, you're born as a human being with a human body. Yet you contained all the necessary information within you to transcend beyond human. The sacred monuments, the vortexes available on this planet, serves as reminders. To bring your attention inward, internally. Each sacred monument is like a piece of artwork that is abstract. So when you look at it, it puts you into a contemplative state of mind. It makes you wonder, it makes you go deeper, to connect with an aspect of you that you don't so frequently touch. Imagine that you are facing a pyramid right now. A pyramid is right in front of you in this open space. Take a few moments to connect with this pyramidal structure and feel your body, your spine, and the geometry of your body is aligning to the pyramid in front of you. As the sun, light, its ray hits gently on the apex of the pyramid in front of you, it flows down to all sides, bringing clear, high-frequency energy through its geometric pattern. It spreads out to the surrounding environment and draws you deeply into it. By mere visualization of this pyramidal structure in your heart, your body is already being exposed and to being tuned. For your cells, your DNA, in your body recognizes structures and designs of geometry. When your body is exposed to such geometry design, it increases the efficiency of your cells and functions of your organs, your mind, your heart. In general, your entire system, your body, is being tuned, upgraded. It's being recalibrated. We ask for clearing of any of our blockages in our body, such as our chakras, our meridians. I open my heart to greater light and greater love. I open my heart to greater light, greater love. I open my heart to greater love and greater light. I second you get to see Alabracusta. I second you get to casta. Madrigo you get to costa. I like it to get a class cola. I take it to get a sacalesia. I take it. I take it. I take it. I should get a calessa colstia. A letter to get a I open and I release. I open and I release. I open and I release. I let go. I let go. I let go. I allow. I allow. I allow. Ilar mukushirisia. Amular narasura berkijigria. Melar suda bekijigria lavakusta. A sekojikujigria la kashta. Selar sikibekishikria. Atakia. 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 Breathe in and breathe out. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Slowly feel your heart, central sun of your heart. Feel the inner earth sun from the center of the earth is anchoring in your abdomen. Feel the solar sun above in the sky is now in the center of your brain. And so at the central column of your body, you have 3 suns. Center of your brain, center of your chest, and in your navel, in your abdomen, connecting you to the earth and the heavens above. Within you, the light shines brilliantly in all directions, blazing effortlessly bright like a sun into the infinite. In this time and in this space, in this moment of now, I am perfect, whole and complete. In this time and in this space, in this moment of now, I'm perfect, whole and complete. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Feel the space around you, spine and your breath. You're free to keep your pyramid hat if you wish. It can help you to stay focused and to connect to high frequency. And whenever you're ready, Feel free to open your eyes, have a sip of water if you have some with you. I'm also happy to receive your sharings of your experience or any questions if you may have. I also would like to invite Celia to come back here to share a few of her experiences with us. That is uniquely hers because everyone's experience is very different. It's nice to hear from her too.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Yantara, for the wonderful sharing and the beautiful meditation. I hope everyone is still awake as at now. So, in my personal experience, Egypt is mysterious and magical. It's mysterious in a way that each time there's so much to unravel, and there's so much that is still unknown to unravel. And each time I have so many different experiences. And magical in a way that we are walking and being physically present in this very sacred and being so closely connecting with the gods and goddesses in all these ancient temples. So every temple has different essences to me. The Dandara temple, which is they honor the goddess of Hathor. It feels more feminine and playful. Goddess of Hathor temple or temple of Dandara, it's very well preserved. So the temples are still very beautiful. You could still see Goddess of Hathor's face with tall structure. So it's quite amazing taking photos there. Being there, if you work with sound, it stimulates your creativity, and it's a beautiful temple. Well, the eyes of Horus, the god that has the face, the bird face that Yantara introduced at the beginning, it feels powerful in the temple, and walking within that temple site, it gave me a sense of magnificence, and it supports one to give clarity as well. So you can set intention of asking questions for guidances when you are in the Eye of Horus temple. My favorite is actually the Isis temple. Though having said that, you must be prepared to wake up quite early in the morning because we have a private visit. So it's wee hour in the morning that we will take a boat to the island. And what was very memorable, the past in 2018, that still is one of my favorite because the meditation while Yantara guided at the Isis temple brought me a sense of going back home where we connect with the saviors. So it's still very much seated in my heart till today, really touched my soul. So Isis temple also, we will be there to see sunrise, and usually after the sunrise, we'll be playing bowls at the temple compound around, and we can also take beautiful photos there as well. I hope I pronounced the word correctly. Queen Hatshepsut temple. I love that temple too. It brings the sunrise. We have sunrise meditation, which it brings a lot of hope. So besides all the temple, we will be going on the River Nile cruise, where it's very relaxing, and I liked we can spend some time to integrate, to reflect, and you can play your bowls. It brings a lot of inspiration that I begin to write new ideas for stimulate new ideas. So I'll share a funny story about pyramid. So Yantara shared just now, if you look at the map or you look at the diagram of the pyramid, that you'll see that there's like a slight slope climbing up. So most of the time, I forget that I have mild claustrophobia. So when I went into the enclosed pyramid back in 2011, yes, 2011, when I started climbing in, that's where the reminder of the feeling came. But what was very encouraging was I have two ladies in front of me back then, and they were more elderly than me, and in terms of size, they were much bigger than me as well, and they were really going up furiously, very, very enthusiastic. So the both of them really encouraged me. So, and I couldn't run anyway because in front of me people were walking, climbing up, and then behind me there will be lots of train of people too. So till today, I'm still very, very thankful to the two beautiful elderly lady that encouraged me climbing up. And anyway, if you know, don't be too concerned. That part is actually quite short. Yeah. Once I'm not sure how far, but it's not too long. Once we surpass that beginning stage, you climb further up, the space will be ample, so it's fine. Yeah. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Yeah. Besides the pyramid, so it will be my third time going back to Egypt, and I'm still very excited because I know and I experience Egypt as a very powerful transformation portal. I know that whatever that happened doesn't just happen and end there. It still carry forward when I'm back. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen and what will unfold. Back in 2011, was it 2011? Yes, it was 2011. So I went in 11/11/11. After that year, 6 months later, I started playing bowls. Till today, I still don't know what happened in between, but magically I started playing bowls, and since then it never stopped. Then in 2018, it was a year after I left a corporate job that is close to 20 years and fully transit into doing spiritual work. So I felt that 2018, that journey brought me a lot of anchor. It kind of like anchored me to be to feel at ease, and also anchored me to propel me to go forward and to be committed in serving this path. So I look forward. I don't know what will come, which will be really, really interesting and exciting. So I look forward to this journey with a like-minded group of people. And this time round, besides myself, I'm very happy to have Myra based in London. She will be joining us, or rather together with me, the both of us will be serving the group of you coming along together with us. If Myra want to say anything, please, most welcome.
Hello. Excuse me, my throat is not yet. I've had a bit of an issue with my throat lately. But yeah, I'm very excited to come. It's been a dream of mine since I was a kid. And yeah, I can't wait to see what will happen and what will unfold, and really excited to support those that will be coming as well. And yeah, it'll be really exciting.
Thank you, Myra. Yeah. So it did. I think what is fascinating is you are not just walking this journey alone, but together as a group, a like-minded group. It'd be really interesting to journey together. We share each other's experiences, like what Yantara said, because everyone is different. You're at a different stage. What you receive will be very different. So besides the sharing, everyone is also will be there to encourage and support one another, during this journey. Yeah. So I look forward to I hope, tonight's sharing will inspire you in any way, whether to join this journey with us or inspire you to find out more about Egypt and connect with Egypt in your own way as well. So that's all from me and Tara. Is there anything you'd like to share? So if you're curious about the date, it is from 28 November to 13 December. So in all, it is 16 days and 15 nights. And you can find out more. We will share the information with you when we send the recording to you.
Yes. Well, thank you. Thank you, both of you. Lovely sharing from Celia of the stories to Isis and Hapjitsu. I mean, there are so many, and of course we can't cover all. But indeed, every journey leaves an impact, a cosmic mark in our journey of life. And I look forward to share this wonderful time. In the past, well, one of the participants asking about the group size. In the past, sacred journeys that are facilitated by me are usually a bit larger. What I mean by larger, it could be like 60 to 80. At times we had up to 90 people. But this time around, we're keeping it within 40, about 40, maybe 42. Depends. It might be a bit smaller. Depends on the number of people that are drawn to come. So that's the number that we're looking at. I'm not creating a large group. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's not creating a large group to me will be like maybe 80 or 90 people, which is kind of like a 60 to 90 people usually is the range of my size. But this time we're doing about 40. Yeah, about 40. And we had two separate groups. One is the Mandarin speaking, which will take place on 11/11 instead of 12/12. Now I have a little bit of break integration too. And I will be visiting London in between that. Then in December, end November to mid-December will be our 12/12, will be the Japanese and English speaking combined together. So we'll have a very good time together international wise. I believe it'll be really great fun. There's also someone who asked question in regards to, let me see, what was the question? It was some sort of apprehension about or fear about going to Egypt itself. So sometimes when we go to before we go to certain places, we may feel, or when we're considering to go to certain places, we may feel a resistance. There are many different types of feelings. It could be a resistance, like you're very clear, no, I don't want to go. Or it could be like I'm drawn to, I feel like I want to, but then a little part of me is afraid of it. That means this part is fine. It just means that there could be some old release, some form of old, a little bit of, it's not a big trauma, some form of trauma, some form of old release, emotional blockages that is relating to that sound. So it could be like Egypt, for example, or it could be the image of the location itself. It is a good sign because it is showing you right now. It doesn't have to surprise you when you're there. So if you were to, you don't need to know how to release it, but you can ask the universe, ask source energy to give you, to support you to release it by saying that you are willing to let go. Whether you go or not, it doesn't matter. More important is you're willing to transform this feeling. You're willing to let go, to heal this, no matter what it is. Please teach me, please guide me, please support me, please help me in ways possible that I can be a part of this healing. So you ask for that, and then you see what happens. Maybe you might read something, you might meet someone, you might go to sleep, and then you wake up the next morning, you're perfectly fine, you feel great about it. So your healing towards this matter will manifest in the way through your prayer that you have asked for help to support you. Yeah, and then we'll see what happens after that. most of the time, people feel all kinds of different things. They have different challenges. It could be challenge with traveling with a group, maybe about challenge of waking up in the early in the morning. It could be about challenge with food. It could be about the sun. It could be like overwhelmed with the energies and the sparkles. It could be overwhelmed with the meditation because we have so much energy work that we're going to do there. So it's training us, because in the past, initiates take years to go to the Great Pyramid. We are just taking a very short time. I'm very aware of this, so we will. That's why I will be preparing soundtracks for healing and preparation and transformation for you to listen before you go. And especially before you go and while you're there, you can also continue to use the tracks to support you, because sound, as it goes through your ears, it connects to your nerves and it connects to your spine, to your whole organs, to your cells. So we're working through the entire body through listening. So that is a very powerful way. And of course, another beautiful and fun thing to do is to decide what kind of experience you would like to have. So in my Sacred Journey manual, usually I will include a section where I encourage participants to write their own story. So you design your intention, what you want to experience, because if you just leave it as it is, then it can be very random. But if you intend that every day I want to be pleasantly surprised, I want to make new friends, I want to enjoy the food, my body is intelligent, it knows what it needs, and I'm given plenty of space to integrate and be. I allow myself to express my creativity, things like that. So write your intentions and fine-tune your story until you are happy about it and you're excited about it. Then I would say that this letter or this intention that you are crafting is ready to be anchoring into your reality to come. Yeah. So you don't have to do this just for sacred journeys, but you can do this for anything. You can do this for just your usual leisure traveling, or visiting a friend somewhere, whatever. You can do this for your everyday life or every other month too. It's a very fun exercise, which I believe it will be really helpful. So that is replying to one of the questions that we received, and the other is about let me see. During meditation, you felt pain, a slight pain in the heart area. What does this mean? So this usually means that the energy is trying to pass through your energy circuits, but it's blocked. So what you do is you tap, you use your 5 fingertips, the left and right, doesn't matter, join them together, tap on that area. So you can be tapping, say for example here, and then you breathe in through your nose, take long exhalation through your mouth, and repeat that until the pain or discomfort disappears. It may take a bit of time, that's normal. You may have to repeat a few times for the next few days, but I doubt that it will while I tune into you. I think it's okay. It should, clear up quite quickly for you. Move your body, stretch open your arms. Movement itself helps to open up and helps you to move the energy too. So it's a good sign, I must say, because energy is moving, and therefore that part is blocked. You feel the discomfort. The discomfort simply just signifies a blockage in the body. So to help you to clear it, you move it, you tap it, you can make a sound, tone it, you visualize. You can use any methods. You can use essential oil, you can incense yourself, you can put a crystal on it, anything that can be used, and you can try and see what works and what not. It's an opportunity to learn about your own body and how you can support yourself with tools. All right. So these are some of the suggestions for you. Is there any other more questions? Feel free to send them in. One other question is, during meditation, this person felt shivers, like you shivered. What does that mean? Like, do you mean like you kind of have a shivering through your entire body? If that's what you experience, then it usually means alignment. It means that your body has gone into an alignment, and at the same time, it recalibrates. So that movement itself is a form of recalibration. Yeah, I understand the shivering part. It's like feels like a little tingle up your entire body. Sometimes it buzzes around your skin. That could also be a common experience. Tingling on the fingers and hands, also common. Sometimes swirling around your crown chakra. If you focus there, it also signifies movement of chakra energy around that area. So yes, so that's that. I hope that you whoever have asked this question have received and heard this answer already. Let's see. Is there any other questions? And thank you all who has been joining through via YouTube. I am reading your messages there too. There's quite a lot, but many of them are in Japanese, and I can't read them well. Except arigato gozaimasu. Thank you very much for joining in. Thank you, thank you. Great blessings to all of you with this taking this time to join us online on this sharing. This will still be available recording wise. I believe it will be put up on the YouTube channel. So feel free to share it with your friends if they're not here. And yeah, whoever that may be interested to invite them to join us on this co-creation, on this journey. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. So much love. Catch up soon.